Hi everyone, I'm Tang Tang from Susan's family. Today, I'm bringing you a new design, the Animism series, Courtyard Small Flower Basket, Spring version. For this electronic tutorial, you can search for susud.com on the website to view it. This product includes tulips, poppies, little bees, and daisies, roses, and the overall assembly. First, learn how to crochet and assemble each flower branch individually, then combine them for the final assembly. Let's start with the tulips. Each tulip branch includes 2 layers of petals, 1 leaf, the pistil and the stem. First, complete the crocheting of the petals and the leaf. Then proceed with the assembly. Start by learning how to crochet the petals. The petals include inner petals and outer petals. Both layers of petals are crocheted separately. They both start with a magic ring. Crocheting in rounds along the magic ring loop. The stitch techniques used include chain stitches, single crochets, slip stitches, half double crochets, and single crochet 2 stitches together. Now, please watch as I demonstrate the specific crocheting method. Before we start crocheting, let's first learn the proper posture for crocheting. To make it easier for everyone to see clearly, I will demonstrate using thick cotton yarn. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. First, start with a magic ring. Here, you can use the adjustable magic ring method. Wrap the yarn tail once around your left little finger. Pass it through between your middle finger and index finger. Pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Position the hook on the right side of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise around. Use your left thumb and middle finger to pinch the crossing point of the loop. Make sure the loop is large. Then, position the hook to the left side of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. The magic ring is now completed. Begin the first round. Work 1 chain as the turning chain for the single crochet. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. The chain stitch is done. The turning chain for the single crochet doesn't count as 1 stitch. Move on to make 1 single crochet. Insert the hook into the magic ring. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Now you have 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again. Pull through both loops at once. 1 single crochet is completed. At the top right of the single crochet, there are 2 strands of yarn in a V shape. This is the stitch of a single crochet. 1 stitch represents 1 hook. Continue with the second single crochet. Insert the hook into the large space. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over. Pull through both loops on the hook at once. Another single crochet is completed. Refer to the chart. You need to complete 6 single crochets in this round. Continue to finish the remaining 4 stitches. Three. 4. 5. 6. After completing Leave the starting yarn loop untouched for now, to make it easier for assembly later. We will consider the side with clearer texture as the right side. Bring the starting yarn tail to the right side. Then locate the stitch of the first single crochet. If you can't find it accurately, you can count back 6 stitches from the last stitch. At this stitch, make 1 slip stitch to join. Insert the hook. Yarn over. And draw through all loops on the hook in one go. Slip stitch completed. This V shape formed by the slip stitch is a braid. The joining slip stitch does not count as a stitch. It needs to be tightened. To avoid adding extra stitches later. That concludes the first round. Move on to round 2. First, work 1 chain as the beginning chain for the single crochet, yarn over, draw the yarn through. 1 chain stitch is done. Pay attention. The beginning chain for the single crochet doesn't count as 1 stitch. This won't be repeated in subsequent instructions. Then, in the first single crochet stitch of the previous round, which is the same insertion point, where you just worked the slip stitch, work 1 single crochet. Next, work 11 chain stitches. After completing them, locate the third to last chain stitch. In this chain stitch, pick up the top half loop, which is this strand of yarn, and work 1 single crochet. Continue on the adjacent chain to the left. Pick up the top half loop, and work 1 single crochet. Following the same method, continue to pick up the top half loop of each chain stitch, and work single crochets correspondingly, completing the remaining 7 chain stitch positions. After completing them, on the adjacent single crochet below and to the left, pick up the stitch and work 1 single crochet. For the convenience of explanation, we will refer to the completed section as one group. Now, continue with the second group. Start by working 1 single crochet on the adjacent stitch to the left. Then, work 11 chains. After completing them, from the third chain from the end, pick up the top half loop, and work single crochets correspondingly into each chain stitch position. Work a total of 9 single crochets. After completing them, work 1 single crochet into the adjacent stitch on the left side below. Another cluster is now completed. Following the same method, continue to complete the third group. After finishing, work a slip stitch join into the first single crochet stitch. Insert the hook. Yarn over. Draw through all loops at once. Pull tight. This way, the second round is completed. Continue with the third round. Work 1 chain. Then work 1 single crochet into the first single crochet stitch. Next, find the second to last stitch among these 9 single crochets. At this stitch's insertion point, work 1 single crochet. Then, at the adjacent insertion point on the left side, work 1/2 double crochet, yarn over once. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over. Pull through all loops on your hook in one go. 1/2 double crochet is now completed. It should correspond to a V-shaped stitch on the upper right as well. Continue at the adjacent insertion point on the left side, and work the second half double crochet, yarn over once. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over. Pull through all 3 loops on your hook in one go. Another half double crochet is completed. Repeat this process. Continue at the next 4 insertion points on the left side, working 1/2 double crochet at each. After completing those, at the adjacent insertion point on the left side, work 1 single crochet. Then, at the top, pick up a few threads and work 1 single crochet. Pay attention. Do not pick up the stitch of this single crochet. At the same insertion point, work 1 more single crochet. Then, work 1 chain stitch. Continue at the same insertion point, working 2 more single crochets. After completing those, this may cover the adjacent single crochet stitch on the left side. You can move the completed section slightly to the right. Next, on the adjacent single crochet stitch on the left side, work 1 single crochet. Continue by picking up stitches and working 6 half double crochets and 2 single crochets. The last single crochet should be worked into the last stitch of the 9 single crochets from the previous round. For convenience in explanation, we will consider the completed section as one group. Continue with the second group. Skip 1 stitch first. Then work 1 single crochet in the second stitch from the left. Then, in the second to last stitch of these 9 single crochets, work 1 single crochet. Next, at the insertion point on the left side, work 6 half double crochets and 1 single crochet in sequence. After completing this, pick up a few threads at the top and work 2 single crochets simultaneously. Note: do not insert the hook into the stitch of this single crochet. One chain and 2 single crochets. After completing this, at the left stitch, work 1 single crochet, 6 half double crochets and 2 single crochets in sequence. This way, the second group is completed. Following the same method, continue to complete the third group. After completing this, join with a slip stitch in the first single crochet stitch. Pull tight. This completes the third round. Continue to the fourth round. Before working, secure the yarn. Stretch the loop. Pull the crocheted part through the loop. Pull tight. Next, locate the third stitch from the end. This is the last half double crochet you worked. Insert the hook into the stitch. Draw the yarn through. Gently pull the carried yarn straight. Don't pull too tight. This way, you have transitioned the yarn. Next, skip the next 4 single crochets below. In the first half double crochet stitch on the left, work 1 single crochet. Don't make the single crochet too loose. Then, work 5 half double crochets, 1 in each stitch. After completing them, in the adjacent stitch on the left, work 1 half double crochet and 1 single crochet at the same time. Next, in the adjacent stitch on the left, work 1 single crochet. Continue in the adjacent stitch on the left. Work 2 half double crochets at the same time. After completing them, in the chain stitch position on the left, work 1 single crochet. Be mindful not to insert the hook into the single crochet stitch on the left. If you can't find it precisely, an approximation is fine. Next, in the adjacent stitch on the left, work 2 half double crochets at the same time. Continue with 1 single crochet on the left. Then, in this stitch on the left, work 1 single crochet and 1 half double crochet at the same time. After completing them, work 5 half double crochets evenly. Not counting the starting single crochet, consider the completed section as one group. After finishing one group, next, work 1 single crochet decrease. First, in the adjacent stitch on the left, work 1 incomplete single crochet, insert the hook, and draw the yarn through. This is the incomplete single crochet. The loops on the hook should not be too loose. Skip 4 single crochets below, in the first half double crochet stitch of the next group. Continue with 1 incomplete single crochet. Insert the hook into the stitch, and draw the yarn through. Similarly, the loop should not be too loose. Then yarn over, and pull through all loops at once. 2 single crochets into the same stitch is now completed. Move on to the next group, starting from the adjacent stitch on the left. Work 5 half double crochets evenly. Then, in the adjacent stitch on the left, work 1 half double crochet and 1 single crochet together. Continue to the next adjacent stitch on the left, work 1 single crochet. In the next adjacent stitch on the left, work 2 half double crochets together. After completing that, work 1 single crochet in this chain stitch position. Then crochet symmetrical stitches to match the other side. Continue all the way down with 5 consecutive half double crochets. Another group is now completed. Continue with 1 single crochet decrease, that is, first work 1 incomplete single crochet in the adjacent stitch on the left, and in the first half double crochet stitch of the next group, work another incomplete single crochet. Then yarn over and pull through all loops at once. Another single crochet decrease is now completed. Continue to finish the remaining group. After completing that, join with a slip stitch in the starting single crochet stitch. Tighten. Then work 1 chain to secure. Stretch the loop. Leave a yarn tail of about 10 centimeters. Break the yarn. And pull tight. Finally, turn the right side texture outward. Weave in the ending yarn tail from the inside with a few stitches. And bring it through the center hole to the outside. This way, the crocheting method for the inner petals is complete. Everyone can finish crocheting the remaining inner petals. Let's continue learning the crocheting method for the outer petals. The starting chain and the first round are exactly the same as the inner petals. The second round stitch pattern is similar to the inner petals, but you need to add 3 more chains and 3 single crochets in each group here. Refer to the previous demonstration and follow the chart instructions to complete the first 2 rounds. I have already completed them. After finishing, I will continue to demonstrate the third round. Work 1 chain. Then, in the first single crochet, work 1 single crochet. Next, in the entry position of the second to last single crochet here, work 1 single crochet. In the adjacent entry position on the left side, work 1 half double crochet. Continue in the adjacent entry position on the left side, and work 1 double crochet. Yarn over once. Insert the hook. Draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull the yarn through the first 2 loops. 2 loops remain. Yarn over again, pull through all loops at once. 1 double crochet is completed. Correspondingly, there is also 1 V-shaped stitch at the top right. At the adjacent insertion position on the left side, continue to work a double crochet, yarn over once, insert the hook, draw the yarn through. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over on after another, pull the yarn through the first 2 loops, repeat this twice. Another double crochet is now complete. Following this method, continue to work 4 more double crochets, corresponding one by one. After completing them, work 2 half double crochets, matching each position. When you reach the position for single crochets and chain stitches, the stitch techniques should match the corresponding positions of the inner layer. Everyone should follow the chart to crochet this section well, and finish crocheting the remaining parts. Continue all the way down to complete the final single crochet stitch position. We will consider the completed section as one group. Continue to finish crocheting the remaining 2 groups. After completing them, join with a slip stitch into the first stitch. This completes the 3rd round. Now, continue to crochet the 4th round. The crocheting method for this round is similar to that of the inner layer. First, secure the yarn. Then, move the yarn to the last crocheted half double crochet position. Which is the 3rd to last stitch? Next, crochet 1 single crochet into the first half double crochet stitch of the first group, then crochet 1 single crochet. Continue following the chart to complete all the double crochet stitch positions on this side. After completing them, crochet 1 single crochet decrease over these 2 half double crochet stitches. Crochet 1 single crochet decrease. Everyone, continue following the chart. Finish crocheting this round. After completing it, join with a slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch. Then, fasten off normally. Hide the ending yarn tail inside, and bring it out through the loop. That concludes the crocheting method for the outer petals. Everyone, make sure to crochet the remaining outer petals and set them aside. Now, let's continue learning how to crochet the leaves. The leaf starts with a chain stitch. Crochet in rounds along the starting braid. On the last round, crochet the edge while wrapping thin wire. The new stitch technique used is the picket stitch with 3 chain stitches. Please watch as I demonstrate. Start with a chain stitch. Hold the yarn with your left hand. Hold the hook with your right hand. Place the hook on the right side of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Pinch the spot where the yarn crosses with your left thumb and middle finger. Then, put the hook on the left side of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This starting knot doesn't count as one stitch. Pull tight. Note: the loop on the hook shouldn't be too tight, otherwise, it will be difficult to work the next stitches. Begin with a chain stitch. Continue chaining until you reach the required number of stitches. Everyone, take a look. This is what it looks like after completing the foundation chain. Move on to the first round. Work 1 chain as the beginning chain for the single crochet. Next, locate the second chain from the hook. In this chain, pick up the top half loop and work 2 single crochets at the same time. After completing this, on the left side, in the next 2 chains, work 1 single crochet in each chain. For the rest of this side, continue to pick up the top half loop of each chain and crochet. Refer to the pattern and work the corresponding number of half double crochets, half double crochets, and single crochets in sequence. Continue all the way down until 1 chain remains. After completing this, in the last remaining chain, work 2 single crochets first. Then work a CH3SL picket. We'll refer to this as a picket stitch from now on. Start by making 3 chain stitches. Next, insert the hook into the front loop of the single crochet below, which is the strand of yarn closest to you, and also pick up the left side strand. Work 1 slip stitch. That completes 1 picket stitch. Continue in the same insertion point of these 2 single crochets. And work 1 more single crochet. After completing it, start from the adjacent chain on the left side. Note: do not insert into the same insertion point of these 3 single crochets. pick up the remaining 2 strands. Which is the same insertion point on this side of the stitch? Work the same stitch pattern as on this side. Continue working until there is 1 insertion point left. Place the yarn tail above the hook. Wrap it into the stitches as you crochet. After completing it, at the starting insertion point, work 3 single crochets. Finally, join with a slip stitch in the first stitch. This way, the first round is completed. We will also consider the side with clearer texture as the right side. Continue to crochet the second round. Start from the first stitch position, and work the same stitch pattern as below, corresponding stitch by stitch. Continue all the way through this picket stitch. Correspond to the adjacent position on the right side of the single crochet below. After completing it, work 1 single crochet into this single crochet stitch. This stitch might be a bit puckered. If you can't find it accurately, just pick up about 2 strands of yarn to crochet. Next, in the hole of this picket stitch, work 2 single crochets. Similarly, if you can't find the hole accurately, just pick up a few strands of yarn to crochet. After completing the 2 single crochets, work 1 picket stitch. That is, first work 3 chains. Then pick up both the front loop of the current stitch, and 1 strand of yarn from the left side, and work 1 slip stitch. The picket stitch is now complete. Continue by working 1 single crochet into the hole of the picket stitch. That is, use the same entry position for these 2 single crochets. Then on the left stitch, work the same stitch pattern as below. All the way down to the last stitch. Finally, join with a slip stitch. This way, we have completed the second round. Continue to the third round. Note, this round needs to weave in the thin wire. Make 1 chain stitch. Then work 1 single crochet. First, insert the hook into the stitch. Take out the thin wire. The color of the thin wire here is not for reference. The focus is on explaining the method. Leave about 15 centimeters at the beginning. Place the thin wire above the crochet hook, and wrap it in as you crochet. Continue to work single crochets correspondingly. The wire is always placed above the crochet hook, wrapping it in as you crochet. Follow this method all the way down to the position below the picket stitch, where the corresponding single crochets are made. Once completed, in the chain space of the picket stitch, work 3 single crochets at the same time. Then continue to work single crochets correspondingly. Complete this round of crocheting. Once done, join with a slip stitch at the first stitch and break the yarn. Leave about 15 centimeters of thin wire at the end before cutting. Do not trim the yarn tails for now. This way, one leaf is completed. Follow the same method to finish the remaining leaves. After all petals and leaves are crocheted, you need to assemble them into a complete flower like this. The position of the leaves is random. Next, please watch me demonstrate the specific assembly method. First, take out the inner and outer petals and one leaf. Place them aside for later use. Then, take out the pistil and one stem. Align the pistil roughly. Fold it in half. And overlap the folded part slightly with one end of the stem. Spread out the pistil loosely. Then wrap with the same color thread as the petals. Leave about 10 centimeters at the start. Wrap tightly. To ensure it's secure, you can apply a small amount of glue at the starting position. Wrap for about 2 centimeters. After completing, leave the thread ends about 10 centimeters cut off. Then tie the 2 thread ends in a knot to secure. You can also apply a small amount of glue at the end. Next, insert the flower stem into the center of the inner petals. Pull the 2 thread ends through the center. Then tighten the magic ring of the inner petals. This means pulling tight on this thread end directly. Continue by threading the outer petals on as well. Pull these thread ends through the same hole. Then tighten the magic ring of the outer petals too. Next, adjust the inner petals slightly. Position their bottom tightly against the outer petals. And stagger them roughly. Then use glue to secure them in place underneath. You can actually apply more glue here. Once the glue dries, adjust the position of the petals. Make sure the top of the pistil is roughly level with the petals. Next, take the same color thread for the leaves. Start wrapping from the bottom of the petals. Wrap the yarn tail in at the same time. You can also apply a small amount of glue at the beginning. After wrapping for a bit, add the leaves. The position of the leaves can be random, but not too high up. Start by wrapping a few extra rounds. Ensure the right side texture is facing up. Once wrapped, apply a small amount of glue at the end as well. This way, a complete tulip branch is assembled. Next, everyone can follow the same method to assemble the remaining flower branches.